Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello, welcome. This is Nick from Top Notch Sports. Today we're over my 2022 NFL Draft interior offensive line prospects. A lot of prospects, not as many though as the last few, but you see we're getting them done here. About 1.5 pages of notes to take that I took, plus all the grades that you're going to see in the video. So let's hop right into it. But again, before we do that, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and much more. If you have anything, just comment us in the comment section below, write us in the live chat. Hopefully we'll get back to you. But let's hop right into this now. It's an interesting interior offensive lineman draft. Some decent guys in this year's draft. Offensive tackles are a little bit better, I would say, than, the interior offensive linemen. But there's some decent interior offensive linemen and a few centers in this year's draft. So let's hop right into it, and I'll see you in the PowerPoint. All right, here we are, the 2022 interior offensive lineman prospects. So here's my grade scale. So you see run blocking, pass blocking, toughness, IQ, and footwork are the things that they get graded on. And this is after the complete analysis, after film study and the pro days. So again, this is a complete analysis. This is after everything's been done, their heights, their weights, the combine, some of the pro days, the film study, all of it's done. Most of my grade is basically only off of the film study. Very little of it's off of the pro days and the combine, but some of it is used just for more accurate numbers. All right, so here's my track record. So last year, 2020, 2019, I never really loved to watch linemen. Now, I still had my favorites and not my favorites, but I really never ranked them. I never went into great detail. But last year, I did go into great detail, and here's my ranking here. So I had Elijah Vera Tucker 1, Landon Dickerson 2, Ben Cleveland 3, Wyatt Davis 4, Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, Josh Meyer, Drake Jackson, Deontay Brown, Aaron Banks, and Bryce Hargrove. Again, I'm going to be honest with you. My top 6 are pretty dang good. In my opinion, I thought all these top 6 would be pretty decent. Really like Creed Humphrey. He was my number 2 ranked center behind Landon Dickerson. Trey Smith was one of my top guards. I think I had him ranked, 3, 4 here, you say. Really liked him too. Both of them went to the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel like they were both absolute steals. Go back, watch my draft grades video for the Kansas City Chiefs. You see that I say they were absolute steals for where they got them. My ranking here is not bad at all. So my track record, at least based off of last year's, is pretty good. Again, I really don't have one in 2020 or 2019. I'm not hiding it from you because, again, I shared my wide receiver track record, which is not great. So, again, if you want to watch my wide receiver track record, go back, watch it. It's pretty horrible. But if you watch my running back track record, my quarterback track record, again, pretty decent. So I'm not hiding anything, but I really did not study interior offensive lineman the way I should have been. So here's this. Now let's hop into the way the first guy. I'm sorry. Here he is, Tyler Linderbaum. Let me go after my notes. He is 6'2", 296, 31 1/8 inch arms. This kid is a center who's very agile. He can easily get to the second level and seal off linebackers, but he can also block a nose tackle lined up over him. He does not take any plays off and does a great job finding someone to hit on every single play. He can be used in the screen passing game. You can pull him, and he is going to also be good at chipping on double. He's also good at chipping on double teams and going to the second level. So he can chip guys and go to the second level. You can use him in the screen passing game. You can use him by pulling him, even though he's a center, and you usually don't pull centers in the NFL. You can start to do those things. Tyler Linderbaum earned a 75 grade. 75 grades means that he earned 75% of the possible points being able to be earned on the grade scale. Here's his strength. Very agile. He climbs levels. Good one-on-one blocker. High motor. Good in the screen passing game. You can pull him. You can chip on double teams. He's a good blocker all around. Great IQ and a good at run blocking. Really doesn't have any weaknesses. I'll be honest with you. Might be one of the best pure all-around blockers in the draft. 6'2", 296, not as big as you want to see him, but I'm sure he'll gain 10, 15 pounds as he goes into the NFL in the next 2-3 years. And he'll be okay. But arms, not extremely long either. 31 1/8 inch arms, not really where you want to see. You usually want to see 32, 33 inches. But again, for a center, not terrible. Here is his breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at this. Hit pause. And here's the next guy, Justin Shaffer. All right, he's a sleeper. Not many people are talking about him. Ranked very high on my grade scale. Now, again, this is not my personal analysis. My personal analysis will be at the end. But let's see what I say about him. 6'3", 314, 33 1/4 inch arms. This kid is a tough football player. He seems to have a never quit attitude, and he constantly tries to hit the defenders. He can get to the second level and shows signs of versatility as he played both right guard and left guard in the same game. Okay, not two different games, same game. So you can swing him to left guard and right guard, inversely. You can do both very easily. He is a mauler up front. He blocks until the whistle blows and does a good job sealing off defenders in the run game. Sometimes I question his pass blocking IQ as he at times misses on a delayed blitzer, but this is a tough assignment for all linemen. Overall, I'm extremely impressed with his film. His toughness and never quit attitude has me excited. So what are his strengths? He's a tough guy. Okay, he's going to try to hit somebody every single play. He can get to the second level. He's a very versatile within the interior offensive line. Again, he didn't switch from being left guard and right guard very easily. He's a mauler up front. He blocks until the whistle blows. He seals off defenders, and he's a great run blocker. Now, his weaknesses, again, pass blocking IQ is something that I definitely noticed in his film. Sometimes he messed up on the delayed blitzes. Here's his breakdown. You're more than welcome to hit pause and look at that. And here's the next guy, Kenyon Green, 6'3", 320, 334 and 1/8-inch arms. So far to the top three, he is all around the biggest guy. Equally tall, 9 more pounds heavy than Justin Shaffer. Ian has almost an inch longer arms than Justin Shaffer. This kid's extremely versatile, which will automatically make him a valuable player in the league. He can play anywhere on the offensive line, and I watched him as an offensive guard and an offensive tackle in the film that I watched. He's pretty good at pulling, but he is not the most agile lineman I've ever watched. He is a much better downhill blocker. He seems strong. Very interested to see his bench press. His bench press, I don't believe, is too amazing, or he didn't do it. I forget which one it was. His versatility will keep him in the league for a long time, even if he's a backup his entire career. Good run blocker, good pass blocker, and a good overall player all around. So considering he's very versatile and he can play offensive guard and offensive tackle, he'll be in the league for years, okay? So his floor is, a backup lineman that lasts for the next 10 years. His ceiling is a starting offensive lineman that's going to be starting for the next 7 to 8 years, right? Easily. So he has a long stay. You can't really miss on Kenyon Green because he can play a little bit of every position. Now, I didn't see him play center for crying out loud, but I did see interior alignment and offensive tackle. He's a decent puller. He's a good downhill blocker. He's going to be a mauler. He's going to be one of those guys that are going to downhill. Let's have a power scheme, push you, and I'm going to run you into the ground. And he's a good all-around blocker. His weakness is footwork. Sometimes he gets tripped up every once in a while, and he doesn't have the footwork that you want to see from everybody. And lats agility. Not always climbing second level, more of just I'm going to take you out on the first level and drive you back 3 yards. And our running back's going to gain 3 yards, 2 to 3 to 4 yards every play. And I'm going to keep running you over and downhill blocking you. Here's his breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at that. And here's our next guy, Cole Strange. Man, is this guy strange. 6'4", 307, 33-inch arms. This kid is being slept on. He is great in the run game, good in the pass game, and is going to hit somebody every single play. His toughness ranks him on the top of his position. Loved watching his film. Strengths. Toughness is a strength of his. Going to hit somebody every single play, and he's a good run blocker. Doesn't really have any weaknesses. A lot of things are right between strengths and weaknesses, are just kind of average. So, again, has a few strengths, doesn't really have a weakness. He's all around a pretty dang good blocker. But again, he has a lot in average areas, so you're going to need some coaching. Here is his breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at that. And here's the next guy, Tyler Smith, 6'4", 324, 34-inch arms. This kid plays left tackle on the film I watched. So unfortunately, the film I got to see was him playing left tackle, which was very unfortunate. He is great in the run game, good in the pass game. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading Cole Strange now. I'm sorry. This kid played left tackle on the film I watched. He seems to make good reads pre-snap on blitz pickups, which shows off his IQ. He is pretty good in the pass blocking game, but not the greatest run blocker. Going to be interesting to watch his transition to guard. He does demonstrate his toughness at times. Versatility is good for him. So again, another guy that can play offensive tackle and offensive guard. So it shows that he's going to have that versatility to play both in the league, probably better guard than tackle in the league, but he can play guard as well. So what are his strengths? He played left tackle in college, which again is a lot harder than to play guard. He had some really good pre-snap blitz IQ, which again is very tough to have. Good IQ in general. Toughness is something else. I know I spelled tugoofiness. Sorry about that, but toughness and good versatility. His weakness is transition to guard is going to be something. He's going to have to make that full transition. Now, again, you can be average at everything, but you're not a master or specialist in any area, which in the NFL, you got to specialize in one area, not be a master in many. So, again, that's a weakness for him. He's going to have to make that full transition to guard and run blocking. Again, more of a better pass blocker on the film I watched than a run blocker as a guard. Again, he was a decent run blocker as a lineman. Okay. Decent run blocker as a lineman. But again, not as a, as a tackle, not as a necessarily an interior offensive lineman. You really want to see him be able to maul some people inside. And again, I'm sorry if you got that confused with the very beginning when I was accidentally reading Cole Strange when I said he's a good in the run game. Tyler Smith is not the greatest run blocker. Here's his breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at it. There you go. C+ run block. See, not so great. And here's the next guy, Dylan Parham, 6'2", 311, 33 and 1/8 inch arms. This kid seems to love the game of football. He blocks until the whistle blows. He is not great at getting to the second level, but he is good at blocking defensive linemen that are lined up over top of him. He is good in both the run and pass game, but he is not the most agile guy in the world. 67 was his grade. He blocks until the whistle blows. He's a good one-on-one blocker and a good all-around blocker. Can pass block and run block decently. His weaknesses: does not climb levels, does not really get to that second level. He's not the most agile guy, and his footwork is also not the greatest. Here he is. Here's a breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at that. And here's our next guy, Zion Johnson, 6'2", 312, 34 inch arms. This kid seems to be another downhill blocker. He is good at sealing off a guy who is lined up over him. He is not the greatest at, he's not great against some of the finesse rushers, in college at least, and it probably will translate in the NFL too. He's not going to be great against the finesse rushers and does tend to at times get beat with speed. It does seem he gets lazy at times. He gets blown backwards or does not get his hands on somebody. I like the way he plays, but he does have some flaws that need to be listed. Again, his flaws: not getting his hands on somebody every time. Sometimes he seems lazy. And again, these are things that a lot of linemen struggle with when you watch them. Some of these upper guys, everyone ranks as their top 3 guys. And Zion Johnson, on most people board, are ranked as the top 3 linemen. Laziness is something that most people do not point out. And I'm going to be the first one to point it out for you. So what are his strengths? A good downhill blocker and good at sealing off. Weaknesses: footwork's not the greatest pass blocker as he struggles against the finesse rushers, and he's lazy at times. Here's his breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at that. And the next guy, Dohnovan West, 6'3", 296, 33 inch arms. Again, not really the most heaviest guy in the draft, 296. Actually, almost identical to Tyler Linderbaum, who's 296 as well, but he's an inch taller than Linderbaum and has about 1.5 inches longer arm. So all around, just bigger than Linderbaum is, but Linderbaum rated a lot higher as a center, or at least as an interior offensive lineman, as Dohnovan West. This kid is a center who is good in the pass blocking game. He seems like he cannot anchor down great, which allows him to get pushed around at times in the run game. He does a good job sealing off defenders and is agile enough to get to the second level at times. Interested to see his bench in order to judge his strength concerns. I don't believe he did bench. A lot of these guys did not bench. But again, he does have a strength concern issue, at least in the film I watched. He gets blown backwards a lot, which is concerning. Cannot anchor down that great. He seals off defenders. He's agile enough to get to that second level. He can climb to that second level well. His weakness is he gets blown backwards and he does not anchor down well. Basically go hand for hand here. Here's his breakdown. That picture is blurry. I am sorry. And here's the next guy, Lecitus Smith, 6'3", 314, 31 and 7/8 inch arms. Again, a little bit smaller arms. You see him here, kind of like T-Rex arms. Not a huge concern, but something that you really don't want to see. Interior offensive lineman, not bad though. Okay, these were offensive tackles. It's a different story. So they can have little T-Rex arms. Again, 31 and 7/8 inch, not really crazily small. Again, right now, probably ranked out of all the guys I went over, second shortest arms behind Linderbaum. This kid plays offensive guard and does a good job getting to the second level. At times, I believe he leads the first level prematurely and does not always secure it. He does a decent job sealing off his defenders. He seems to have a high motor, always running down the field. So his strengths, well, here's his strengths. Climbs second level well, okay at sealing off players, high motor, and finds someone to hit on almost every single play. Weaknesses: does not secure the first level all the time, and he leaves prematurely. Here's his breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at that. As we go to the next guy, Rhyan, 6'4", 321, 32 and 3/8 inch arms. All around, a very big offensive lineman. This kid was playing left tackle when I watched him play. Good run blocker, but seems to get beat at times in the pass game when the defender uses speed. Now, again, making the transition from offensive tackle to interior offensive lineman should be a lot easier for him. So that's something that, again, wasn't really demonstrated in the film I got to watch. So again, I could be missing on him a little bit in the film I watched. Doesn't really demonstrate a sense of great toughness or IQ. He gets blown back at times, which makes me question his strength and his footwork. Strengths: Good versatility. He can play offensive tackle and guard. Weaknesses, pass blocking. His IQ is not the greatest. Footwork's not the greatest. He gets blown backwards and has to transition again from offensive tackle to offensive guard. Here's his breakdown. You're more than welcome to look at that. As we go to the next guy, Jamaree Salyer. 6'3", 321, 33 and 5/8 inch arms. This kid played left tackle. When I watched his film, he seems like he did a decent initial job on pass blocking, but he quickly gets worn down around the outside. He seems lazy at times and is a decent run blocker. His film is underwhelming. Again, another guy that played a lot of left tackle when I watched him, but probably going to make that transition to offensive guard in the NFL. His strength is his versatility. Once again, play offensive tackle, play guard. Could keep him around the NFL for a while. Weaknesses, has to transition, gets defeated around the edge on the film I watched. Lazy at times. His footwork's not the greatest, and he doesn't really show that toughness. I want to see people run people into the ground, and I just don't see it with Salyer. Here's his breakdown. Here's the next guy, Nick, for a really interesting prospect. 6'5", 315, does not have an arm length listed. This guy plays center, and he's 6'5", 315. Maybe he will transition to offensive guard in the NFL. I mean, at 6'5", 315, some quarterbacks are not going to be able to see over him, which might be a concern. This kid played center, and he does not impress me that much. So on the film I watched, he does seem to secure run blocks and but he does get beat. Sorry. He does not seem to secure run blocks, and he gets beat with quick finesse pass moves. He does concern me as a starting offensive lineman in the NFL. So what's his strength? Well, really, I mean, he shows signs of toughness. He has decent footwork, and he's extremely versatile. He can play all 5 offensive line positions: offensive tackle, interior offensive lineman, and center. He's not a master at any. Okay, 6'5", 315. This guy can play any offensive line position. He played center in college. But again, with him being an extremely versatile, you're going to see a downside, not experienced at offensive line. Limited snaps in each position. He's not really great at sealing off the lineman, and he gets beat with a finesse move. So this is going to be a work in progress, guys. 6'5", has a lot of size, 315, has potential. Going to need a really good offensive line coach to coach him up. Could be a really great offensive lineman if he has a good coach. If he doesn't have a good coach, he's not going to be good at all and will be forgotten very quickly. Here's his grades. Again, not so great. And our last guy, interior offensive lineman, earned a 52 grade, and Ingram. 6'3", 307, 33 and 5/8 inch arms. This kid may be one of the laziest players I have ever seen. He does not like to block anyone, and I mean anyone, unless he absolutely has to. If a player lines up over him, he will block them, but besides that, he just stands around. He looks big, but I have no idea why he is high on people's draft boards. His best ability is his IQ, because he does at times read the blitz well, but man, he even falls over his damn 2 own feet. So here we go. Blocks one-on-one. Well, that's his strength. Weakness, he's absolutely freaking lazy. He does not read blitzes that well. Every once in a while he does, but on other times he doesn't. So at times he does, but again, that's his best IQ, and it's not really a good IQ, okay? Footwork is lackluster. He trips over his damn own 2 feet. Toughness and run blocking, all weaknesses. Here you go. Here's his breakdown. And here's my rankings according to the grade scale. So this is literally the order we just went over. Now let's break it down by position. According to the offensive guards, according to the grade scale, here's the order. Shaffer 1, Green 2, Strange 3, Smith 4, Parham 5, Johnson 6, Lecitus Smith 7, Rhyan 8, Salyer 9, and Ed Ingram 10. Now, again, this is according to the grade scale, not my personal analysis. According to my centers, you got Tyler Linderbaum 1, West 2, and Ford 3. And now, according to my personal analysis, this is ranked by all the linemen according to my analysis together. I think Linderbaum is the best all-around lineman in this draft. Green 2, Shaffer 3, Smith 4, Strange 5, Parham 6, Johnson 7, West 8, Smith 9, Rhyan 10, 11, Salyer 12, Ford, and 13, Ingram. You go to my personal analysis at the guard position. It's Green 1, Shaffer 2, Smith 3, Strange 4, Parham 5, Johnson 6, Lecitus Smith 7, Rhyan 8, Salyer 9, and Ed Ingram 10. And at center, Linderbaum 1, West 2, and Ford 3. Now let me meet you back on so I can talk to you guys right now. All right, welcome. I am back. So there you go. There you have it. There's the rankings. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, you guys don't have many questions at all about the interior offensive lineman thing. But I do want to mention is it really comes down to your offensive line coaches, the scheme that you go to, and, you know, what team you go to ultimately. Again, if you go to a team with a terrible running game and a terrible pass game and terrible offensive linemen around you, you're not going to pan out to be that well. So again, a lot of this order is basically off of, you know, what I think can be the potentially the best player coming out of this year's draft. I got to factor in potential and where I think they're going to go. And again, all that will be factored in their draft grades. This is just, if I get a chance to pick all these guys, this is who I pick. And I personally, again, I'm not on like the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Or the Kansas City Chiefs or the Los Angeles Chargers or the Denver Broncos. If I was, I would have to get a guy and put them into my scheme. Now, me as just an analyst, right, or as an expert, my job is, well, I'm open, right? If I had to design something around them, well, I would work around what they do best. But the issue is that's because I don't have a team, right? If I go to the Raiders right now, they're a zone blocking scheme, right? So, well, they at least were. So that being stated, I would have to draft zone blocking guys. Me as an analyst, I'll just say, why don't you just take the best guy on the board and work around them? But that's not how it works. If you got 4 zone blocking offensive linemen and then you draft 1 power blocking offensive lineman, that's where you run into a lot of trouble. So people will say, oh, just have him just, you know, work around the guy you draft. Well, you can do that, right? Fit his system, fit what he does best, and mold your system around your players. Absolutely. If you are an incoming coach, you fit your system around the players. The issue is, if you're Josh McDaniels and you got 4 zone blocking scheme guys and you draft a power blocking guy, that's just a terrible draft pick at that point, unless you feel like you're going to work with him and make him a zone blocking guy. So there's my example. So a lot of it comes down to fit, scheme fit, coaching, and a lot more. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are built better. A lot more coming. Mock drafts. And again, the entire defense side of the ball. So stay tuned, leave a like and subscribe. See you guys soon. Peace.